Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and those who have yet to make up their minds. I am your host, JustJack.com, and we welcome you to subscribe to our newsletter at JustJack.com, JustJack.com. That's Just Jack with two S's, because one just ain't enough. Now let's get on with the show. First of all, I am losing my voice, but today was such a powerful day, and I've been working on what I wanted to say on this day. And so I'm not going to let my voice stop me. I'm not going to let a little frog in my throat, but me, I sound like I have a whole pond in my throat. So let's just get that out of the way. It's not about how I sound, it's about the message. And if you're listening to this, welcome. You're here for a reason. And you could have been anywhere today watching anything, but you chose to show up and listen to little old me. So, and that's what matters, and that matters. It's not just inauguration day in 2025. It's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I think it's important. I'm not saying that one outweighs the other, but let's just agree that today, well, right now, we're going to lean all the way into hope and justice and building a better future for not only our children, but for generations to come. Because let's be real, there's a lot going on, okay? Excuse me. There's a lot going on, but the truth is we don't control what's going on out there. We control what's going on in here, in our hearts, in our communities, in our dreams. And let me tell you something, this isn't just a speech. This is a call to every single person listening, a call to anyone who's ever been told that they don't belong, a call to anyone who's ever been made to feel like they're too much or not enough. I'm here to tell you, you are exactly who you're supposed to be, and your voice, even if it's raspy and you sound like you got a bunch of frogs in there, your story, it matters. And I'm not here to preach at you. I leave all that up to the preachers. I'm not here to preach at you. I'm here to walk with you. I'm here to dig into some truth and to remind us all of the power that we already embody. Let's start with Dr. King, because everyone knows he was a legend, right? But today we're digging deeper. Actually, it was Mahalia Jackson, the queen of gospel herself, who played a major role in his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech at the March on Washington, which I would just like to remind everyone. The March on Washington wasn't just a historic civil rights rally that drew in over 250,000 people advocating for racial equality and economic justice. It was the March on Washington for jobs and for freedom. Let's not forget that, people. The crowd was buzzing, and you know what? Dr. King, that remarkable man, he froze. And it was Mahalia Jackson, that was sitting nearby, and she shouts, "Martin, the dream! Tell him about the dream, Martin! Tell him about your dream!" And that's when he pivots. No script, no teleprompter. He just starts speaking straight from his heart, and the rest is history. Dr. King's dream wasn't just poetic, it was prophetic. He said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." And that's not just a poetic truth, that's a directive. Dr. King wasn't just dreaming of love, he was demanding it. A love that's active, a love that stands up to justice, a love that fights back, not with anger or rage, but with grace and power. He knew that healing a fractured world starts with us. And guess what? That's our assignment. To be the light when darkness feels overwhelming, to lead with love when hate tries to take center stage. Now, let me just cool down. Let's talk about what we're facing today. okay, without naming any names because we're classy like that. We've got plans out there that don't exactly scream equality for all, right? Let's call the spade a spade. It's fear driven control. That's what it is. Things like restricting voting rights, turning a blind eye to environmental collapse, and rolling back progress that we've fought tooth and nail for. It's heavy. It's heavy. It's real. But here's the thing, we've faced worse. Okay. Remember in his letter from Birmingham jail, Dr. King wrote, "We know through painful experience that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed." He was reminding us, don't wait for permission to be free, to be authentic, to demand peace. You take up space, use your voice, build your community, and do it with love, because hate never fixes anything. You mark my words. Dr. King's ultimate vision wasn't just about civil rights. It was about creating a beloved community, a world where peace, justice, and equality aren't just ideas, but realities. He said, what was that quote? Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. And let's just pause there. Think about the energy it takes to hate versus the energy it takes to love. Hate drains you. Love builds you. Which one do you want fuel in your life is a wonderful question you should ask yourself in your quiet space tonight. Now, this doesn't mean that we're doormats. Being peaceful does not mean being passive. It means being powerful with purpose. It means showing up with integrity, even when it's hard. And I know it's gonna be hard. It's already hard, okay? Service, but just remember, service isn't always about grand speeches or heroic acts, okay? Sometimes it's the quiet revolution that happens when leaders choose humility over hierarchy. But let's not underestimate its power. Every great social and cultural shift, from Gandhi's nonviolent movement to the civil rights marches, was rooted in leaders who served their cause with unwavering commitment, just like the story of Mahalia Jackson. She didn't just sing gospel. She fueled a revolution with her voice and her service to a greater purpose. Imagine her urging Dr. King to tell him about the dream that he just had. That moment wasn't just history, it was a turning point born out of service. And think about the revolutionary spirit of Hinduism's Arjuna, guided by the beautiful blue god Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Krishna reminds Arjuna that true leadership isn't about personal gain, but fulfilling one's dharma, your duty to others. Service is the seed of revolutions that transform lives and societies. Revolutions don't always start with fanfare. Often they begin with a single act of service, and when leaders serve, they ignite change, not just in the lives of those they touch, but in the very fabric of our society. Some of history's most powerful revolutions were born from service. When Gandhi launched his campaign for India's independence, he didn't do so by shouting orders or wielding power. He did it by spinning cloth, fasting, and walking miles to collect salt. These humble acts weren't insignificant. They were revolutionary. Gandhi understood that leading through service wasn't a weakness. It was the most potent strength. In his own words, and one of my favorite quotes is, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." Every thread he spun symbolized self-reliance. Every step he took inspired a movement. Gandhi didn't just fight for independence. He served a vision of unity and dignity that still inspires leaders today. Or Mother Teresa, a woman whose leadership transformed the slums of Calcutta and hearts around the globe. She didn't hold titles of power, yet her service created a revolution of compassion. What did she say? Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. Think about that for a moment. Her revolution wasn't built on speeches or armies, but on holding the hands of the dying, feeding the hungry, and simply showing up. Her life teaches us that leadership through service doesn't require a grand stage, only a willing heart. Even Dr. King himself, his revolution was rooted in the belief that service was a moral imperative. He said everyone can be great because everybody can serve. Dr. King's marches and speeches and sit-ins weren't just political acts. They were acts of service to a dream, service to dignity, to equality, and to future generations. He didn't stand on stages to be seen and be cute. He stood to serve humanity's collective potential. And here's the beauty of it. Here's the beauty of it. That same dream lives in every single one of us when you serve your teams, when you serve your communities, or even your family. You're carrying the torch of that revolution forward. I mean, across cultures and traditions, leaders who serve have sparked revolutions. Thich Nhat Hanh, our dearly beloved Thich Nhat Hanh, showed us how mindfulness and service would transform entire communities. His peaceful protests during the Vietnam War weren't just about stopping violence. They were about healing the world from within. Or Kuan Yin, the bodhisattva of compassion in Buddhist tradition, embodies the ultimate servant leader. She vowed to assist all beings in their suffering, reminding us that leadership is about relentless care for others. Even Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, demonstrated servant leadership by living simply and always prioritizing the needs of his community. From helping build homes to sharing meals, his service created a revolutionary sense of unity among all of his followers. So how do we do this? How do we stay grounded in peace while the world feels like it's falling apart? Here's 3 steps. Write these down. Number 1, stay informed, don't get consumed. Okay? Read, learn, know what's going on, but don't let the news steal your peace. Set boundaries. Protect your own energy. Number 2, build your village. Find your people. Find the people who are looking for you. Join communities that align with your values. You don't have to do this alone. Dr. King said, we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. And number 3, practice inner peace. Meditate, pray, breathe. When you're at peace inside, the outside doesn't really matter as much. And so let's take a moment to affirm some truths greater. I want you to say these affirmations out loud, write them down, or just hold them in your heart. I am a vessel of peace, no matter what the chaos is around me. I choose love over fear every single time. My voice matters. My actions create ripples of change. I am building a world where everyone belongs. Now, I don't want to take up too much of your time because it's been a day for all of us. But I would like to close in unity with a little prayer, I guess, of some sorts. So feel free to bow your head, close your eyes, or just be still. And you can say out loud or quietly in your mind, beautiful source of all peace, guide us to be bridges of understanding in a divided world. Help us to see the humanity in each other even when it's hard. Strengthen our resolve to act with love, speak with kindness, and move with courage. Let us be instruments of peace, carrying Dr. King's dream forward for all people, all nations, and all generations. And so it is. And mote it be. If this message resonates with you, let's keep the conversation going. Sign up for my email list, justjack.com/email, and receive these devotionals that we have been working on, these devotionals that are designed to bring peace into your life. They're free, they're soulful, and they're here to help you connect with your own higher power, whatever it is that you choose to call God. And if you're looking for a community, we got you. Whether you're an online business owner or just someone who wants to make a difference, there's a place for you here. Together, we are stronger. Together, we're unstoppable. Remember this. Peace isn't passive, it's powerful. So let's go out there and make some noise for love. Let's make some noise for justice. Let's make some noise and let's make some noise for the dream that Dr. King entrusted to us. I've got your back, and I know you got mine. So let's do this together. Lots and lots and lots of love to you. I will see you guys on the next tape. So make sure you open your email, sign up for our email list, and until next time, peace out. Bye, Felicia.